Hello fellow Mythrunians, welcome to another weekly live stream. Today we're going to be wrapping up the Halloween mod basically, because I said I was going to try to use it as a good example for making your own mods. So today I'll be breaking it up into pieces and we can talk about kind of what I ended up with, how it works, and how it could be used as a good example. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You can see our awesome heroes and superheroes and so on scrolling over there on the left. That's my patrons. This becomes especially relevant after I started a Hetzner server. That's the public servers run on Hetzner now, which is like some cool. I added some cool features to the server for dedicated server so that you can you have like a SSH console you can run directly into the server. That's what you see on the left here. Is I've got my command thing, and if somebody chats, you can see the chat in here too, and you can chat with them while you're running stuff. But this is how I can run diagnostics on the server. I can check the memory. I even have a new cache command that I can check to see how full all the various caches are, and if any of them are taking up too much memory, and I can get stats on them and stuff. Was it stats? Yeah. So it's kind of cool. So got that going. Real quick, let's log into the server and just do a kind of recap of what happened on Halloween, and just take a final look at the neighborhood, so to speak, see who created what, and see if there's any houses I missed grabbing. As far as so joining multiplayer, go like that. If you already have an account, you can just log in. And I'm going to leave the house claiming up for now, for the foreseeable future. I'm going to turn off the trophy thing, or the costume capture, I think, on Sunday night. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, the nice thing when we're connecting to the server is it doesn't have a huge impact on the live stream as far as performance goes. Yeah, so there's my kooky crooked house. Of course, it's dark right now. Well, this will give me a chance to show you the server commands. Let's wait for this to fully load. Spooky. Hey Max, how's it going? Yeah, so if any of you are interested, there are still a bunch of town plots to claim, and I'll leave that open. Here, let me show you. So over here on the thing, see it says Fade is joined. Here I can also run what is the time? Oops, I don't have to do that here. I can just say time. So the time in game is 2054. So let's run time forward 5 hours. Nope. And then we'll see time rapidly fast forward here as it gets to be daylight again. Alright, so this is my house. I've already visited it. I thought that would give us oh, maybe it didn't run as far forward. Did I not read that right? 2054. Somehow time did not work like I wanted it to. Let's try 3 hours. Huh. Maybe it had a math bug when it crossed over the midnight threshold. That's interesting. Good to know. Alright, so it's getting to be daytime. Yeah, this is my house. Even, we made this last time. I haven't done anything to it except for put a back on it. But even and I made a little walkway, so it's even got this little crooked door. Yeah, I started putting a back wall on it. Of course, the door doesn't. From another bug, the door doesn't let me in. Okay, so I think let me real quickly just run around and See, I think I already visited this one. Look. Visited 2 times. Oh no, I haven't. Right click. Yes, I already visited it. Visited it. I definitely already visited Zathrus's house. Yeah, I think that these don't have markers. Yeah, I took the markers off because they interfere with the bubble. Okay, let's see if I can find. I never did implement the total, so it won't tell me how many there are total. But let's wander around a little bit while we wait for daylight. Town plots. What are that about? Sorry, I had to format my rig. Oh, so for Halloween, I set up this Halloween town, which has got like streets and plots. And so you could come and pick a plot. Like, so for example, this one here, there'll be a sign at one of the entrances here. And so you can go here and you can say, yeah, I like this plot. I want to claim it as my own. And then you could right click on here and say claim. Nobody has claimed this one, so it's unclaimed. And then at that point, you own the property, and only you know, and the town owner, me, can modify things in here. And the way we set it up was that, you know, people could visit each other's properties and, you know, click on the little trick or treat basket. But I'm going to leave that open because there's so many unclaimed plots in the town, and so I thought it'd be fun for maybe next year we could use the same town and see who all's made houses and stuff. So yeah, so you can claim your house and then build something there. So that's what I did last week, was I built this crooked looking house, and some other people built some stuff, so we're gonna go check that out. Of course, I'm getting a little bit of lag as I cross boundaries here. And you see like my I'm wearing a jester costume that I created also, because there was a little costume contest thing, kind of, not contest, but and so I've got that constantly kind of bumping into my head. Yeah, so this is unclaimed. I think this one up here had some mods in it. Yeah, I already visited this one, but I think this was the middleman or somebody who owns this one. Look. Your eyebrows are running faster than you? Is that what you think that was coming down? Yeah, so yeah, this middleman's house. It's been visited one time. I think I already visited this one. Yep. And so then they had their little trick or treat bowl too, which you could click on and you know, get candy. And that's just there's a when you get candy at yeah, so this is one of the things. So priorities for me going forward is, one, to redo the website. That's my This Weekend project. Once that's done, is to fix this inventory so it doesn't load so slow. But you have a little Halloween bucket that you run around. You can see how many pieces of candy you collected by going around to all various houses. So it's kind of like a little trick-or-treat theme. So let me see if I can find somebody else. So I think Oak's house is over here. I've already visited it. That's a weird phrase. Visited it before, but he hadn't finished building it. So let's go check out what he did over here. And this plot right here, yeah, he did a good job of filling his plot. So yeah, so we'll check. Let me go back into myself. So we get a little campfire here. Yep, not an official campfire, but a hand-built campfire. Some cool drying racks or fences. And let's see, we gotta see some couches in here, table and chairs, big pot with some fire in it. His dungeon marker. Well, it's what it is. He copied the blueprint, I think. Oak likes to copy blueprints. Yeah, so he's got the rail from the Halloween, from the last year's Halloween house. So we got a door here. Cool little room. Everything fully lit because of all the lights. Yeah. Oh, cool. Checker bed. A balcony you don't want to fall out the window of. Okay. Cool pumpkin. Oh yeah, the I think that was last year's Halloween trophy, maybe. Look at a whiteboard. Let's head back upstairs. And now we're up on the spiky roof. That's pretty cool. Got a little thing here, yeah. Neat. Pretty cool. Alright, now from here, we can see if there's any other houses we missed. I think I see one over here. Yeah, we'll head on over. But yeah, so Max, since you might not have heard this also, then I've moved the public server to a Hetzner server, so it's no longer on my home network here, which makes the access more consistent for people. So we're seeing how we like that. Yeah, Max has joined. And so this is, whose house is this? I think I visited this before. It's been visited one time, so I think I visited it, yeah. I tried to visit everybody I saw. Let me like do another pass. So I think those are the only claimed plots. I think, yeah. So I've been to him, I've been to him, been to that one, been to all three of these. And then, yeah. Max, to get here quickly you can warp. There's a warp target, which is the Halloween town. So, yeah, to get to Halloween town fastest, type warp in the chat bar and select Halloween town. So that's what I said. I see it a little better this way. To get to Halloween town the fastest, type ~warp in the chat bar and select Halloween town. And that should plop you right onto this pedestal here. And so let me run down into the crypt really quick and see how many statues we got. Show off the costumes people did. Yeah, cool spooky area here. Alright, somebody got a prime spot here. Oh, that was me. Yeah, it's the kind of random how it picks. So that's what my jester outfit looks like as a yeah, I gotta get rid of that debug thing. And here, who's this? This was Yvonnia's. I should put the player name there too, so you know who the actual artist was. Oak. Yeah, so there's Oak's costume with a little hat thingy of some kind. Let me see. I can't really see. I can pop up here and see. Oh yeah, the face thing. I saw that. That was creepy looking. Okay, who do we have over here? That's kind of cool hat too. Roms. So Roms, there's Roms. Hey Rom. Oh yeah, that's nice. Neat. Cool. Okay, so those are the costumes we have so far. But I'm gonna leave. So then, if you click on this, you can you know, immortalize yourself as a statue. You'll appear here. I'll leave this up till Sunday night at least. I may leave it up longer. I don't know. It just depends on how lazy I get. But it will get closed down at some point. Yeah. So I'll just fly out of the ceiling. There we go. Hey, there he is. Meep, meep. There's Max. Finding that plot he likes. Meep, 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 meep. Meep, 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 meep. Cool. I can see the skull up here. Yep, cool. Yeah, so I've got little bug there. There we go. Alright, I'm going to let him do his thing anyway. So I'm going to exit out of here. Have fun. So I'm going to exit out of here and we'll get started on the project for tonight. Which is cleaning up that module we started to create. Alright. Okay. And then if Max needs some help or something, we can always buzz back into the game. So, because I can see over here what's going on. All right. So how we left it. Oh. Okay. How we left the mod before was, well, I mean, I did a lot of changes after our live stream. So there's a lot of like commented out code. It's all like glommed into one file. And so I thought what we could do is kind of like reorganize it a little bit and talk about how you might want to reorganize your modules so that they make sense. Like one obvious thing that could be done is like I've put all of my helper functions and objects and yeah, the hook registration for making sure the player gets the admin gets the Halloween wand and stuff, and all the town generation, the town generation stuff. I've put all of that into the admin commands. I've put them all in one giant groovy file. That's probably not the best way to do it. And so yeah, I'll go through this and we'll like kind of clean the stuff up a little bit. Yes, I had a bunch of test stuff in, so let me make sure I've got that all saved for the moment. Server mods. Yeah, so I think, yeah, so I think I must have committed everything already. So we can pretty much just garbage things up as much as we want. So as discussed previously, the way this one was set up, we've got the Halloween 2025 mod.json, which is sort of how the engine finds the module itself, and then you can say kind of what resources it uses. In this case, it needs to load some models for the candy bowl, the sign, and the little basket it puts in people's inventory. And then you can say what scripts it runs. Right now there's just the one script, but we're going to split it into a couple. So I think what we'll do is we will split this into, we'll have, so they'll all be in this 2025 Halloween subdirectory just so that it keeps it cleaner. But then from there I can name them whatever I want. I don't have to keep including this 2025 Halloween in there because we're obviously already in the Halloween thing. So I'm going to rename some things and reorganize. But if I set up all the script endpoints here, then I can run the tool, or I can run the game, and it will just keep reloading them. Hold on. Excuse me. All right. So I think we'll have, and the order matters because they're going to run in order. And so if you have something that sets up stuff for later scripts, that should be first. And so I think what we'll do is we'll set the town plot script first. Yeah, remember your commas. You'll be upset if you don't have commas. And then we'll have probably the objects. Then we can have the these names are arbitrary. I could call them whatever I want, but this is how I'm kind of like thinking of the organization of this particular mod. So objects, then we'll have the hooks, any hooks we want to add, and then finally I'm going to change this to be admin commands. Okay, so this is kind of the structure we'll create. And so under here, I'm going to want to make townplot.groovy, townplot.groovy. Yep, we don't need any of that stuff. What's the other one we had? Objects.groovy, hooks.groovy, admin commands.groovy. Objects.groovy, hooks.groovy, admin commands.groovy. Okay, so we've got these different scripts set up, and if you were a good developer, you would put like a comment up at the top to say what it is. So this is going to be functions and tools for functions for creating the city layout and the claimable plots. Yeah, so there's kind of a weird order problem here, but that's fine. So we can add some more documentation as we add stuff in. So this is the there we go. So this will be the object type definitions for the Halloween mod 2025. We had several objects. There was the town plot sign. Well, anyway, I'll add a summary as we move this stuff over. The hooks, hooks, registers, and on joined hook for the player to detect the admin and add the admin wand to their inventory. Okay, so this is sort of the makeup of the thing, and this is, admin console commands for the admin to do things with the Halloween town. Okay. Okay, so then that is all of that set up for that. So we're no longer using this. We'll not get any special. We're not actually using this script, and so we probably so this would be a part of the objects. Sure. Okay, so now I'm going to load like a fresh world, and we'll find a place to put a town down, and we'll like make sure all this stuff works. Oh, bless you! I see that. Yeah, so we'll kind of move this stuff over one at a time. I think isAdmin is only ever used in the object scripts. Yeah, it's just my convenient thing. It's not a bad idea. So when you have these defined with this def, they're local to this script. They won't leak into the other scripts, and so it's kind of like a private isAdmin function. And even if the game adds like a more definitive way to do that, or without doing these multiple lines, it's still worth having, because one of the things I can do for testing is I could return false here, and then even though my character is an admin, I could still test it as what happens when I'm not an admin. So we'll talk about that when I get in. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and run, and we'll see I'll have no special Halloween things. I'm gonna have to create a new character to make that happen, but yeah, in fact, I probably broke existing character. Anyway, we'll see. So yeah, so I've created a world already. I don't know if it's actually suitable for, we'll get some little bit of lag here. I don't know if my world's actually suitable for having a Halloween town. I think it's got a lot of trees or something, but I just kind of put today's date in as the seed. It's my typical way of being able to create a reproducible world. It's just a 2025 1107 as a seed. I really need to do something cool with those skulls. Okay, so let's create a new character. Select human female. This is my favorite. Delida. Haquith, no. Rastina. Rastina! I like it. So we'll give her just some basic clothes. Sure, that's good enough. Save and continue. Alright, we'll play. And the live stream should suffer for a minute. I'm not sure if connection is unstable because there's a problem or because I'm on the other side of the planet. Are you on the other side of the planet? Did you warp to the Halloween town? Oh, you did warp to the Halloween town. What? Did you go somewhere else? Because that would certainly cause problems. Did you warp somewhere? Oh, I see. To the server from the Middle East. Oh, I see what you mean. The physical, actual planet. I mean, maybe the server's actually in Central Europe, so you're maybe closer to it than I am. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything in internet terms, right? Physical proximity, you're probably closer, but that doesn't mean you are network proximity-wise. But at the moment, like I set it up, it was cheaper to set it up in Helsinki, Finland, so that's where it is right now. And so, like, yeah, people in Central Europe have better performance than I do, which I found like kind of a desirable situation. Huh. Well, sorry about that. So yeah, maybe there's a. So the other thing is when you're connected to the server, you can run ping, and it'll tell you. Okay, I can't run ping because I'm not. That's not a real connection. But if you open your chat bar and run /ping or ~ping, it'll show you what kind of how many packets are being dropped and stuff, and you can sometimes take a screenshot of that and post to the chat. Maybe that means something, but not chat, the Discord. That's unfortunate. And for once, I can say I am not to blame as far as the live stream goes, because you're not connecting to the you're not connected to my server anymore here in the house. So I am guilt-free as far as that goes. Now, the code-wise, I'm 100% guilty, but I'm no longer guilty of chopping up the pipe, so to speak. Okay, so let's go to this town. So maybe over here by this town would be a good spot to. Well, that's nice. 16 milliseconds, no dropped packages. That's good, actually. Yeah, because I get 20 milliseconds at best. Yeah, so you guys are. So I'm walking right on a tree line right now, which means that I'm right on the border between two. I'm on like one of the, if you want to think of them as ley lines right now. I almost want to leave them in and give them sort of magic significance, these lines where the trees don't grow. But eventually I will fix this. But right now it means that as I cross back and forth over the center of this, I'm creating havoc for my world generation, which is also then creating havoc for the live stream here. So we want to probably build our town, Halloween town, somewhere over here then. Or we could do it right here. There's a reasonable amount of open space here. Okay, so I've been given none of the tools to be able to do this yet. Yes, this is going to be a wavy town because this is a relatively bumpy terrain, which would be kind of interesting to see how my algorithm deals with that. Alright, so I think this is as good a place as any to place a Halloween town. But as you'll see, I do not have any of the Halloween town tools. That's my path one. Those are the other things that I have. So we can start creating the things. Meanwhile, it's back there generating the world away. Okay. I mean, one of the downsides to Mythruna as far as connecting over vast sections of the internet is that it's UDP based for all of its object syncing, and so it's an unreliable mechanism that it built a reliable protocol on top of. Excuse me. So it's possible that you could have a good internet connection. Although it says you're not dropping any packets, so I don't know. But any little blip. All right, so let's start copying things over. Yeah, in fact, I may need to keep these things or we'll crash the client again. So let's move our objects over first, because they were all kind of together. And then we'll kind of document them as we go and clean them up. Okay, so we've got all the things. We'll come down to here. We'll copy these over to objects.groovy. Okay, and we'll put up here the objects that we have. Just as sort of general documentation, we have the Halloween 2025 candy bowl, Halloween 25 candy bowl. It's carried by players when they start visiting houses to collect candy. Okay, we've got, I'm gonna space it out. We got lots of white space. Okay, so we've got the Halloween sign. Indicates a plot, claimable plot in the Halloween town. What else we got? Halloween sign, Halloween blah blah blah. We've got a lot of debug stuff in there. Halloween bucket and Halloween trophy giver, and yeah, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna say Halloween bucket, Halloween trophy giver, Halloween statue. Oh yeah, that's right, the statues. So I probably could have split this up further because there's two modes of this particular mod. In that there's the Halloween Town part and then there's the separate costume statue part. We probably could have split these up. Alright. So anyway, I'm trying to get this as close to something that I can upload to the website as as an example as possible. So that's why I'm going ahead and document as we go. Boink. Boink. But yeah, I could have put some of these in one and the other anyway. And maybe the admin one in its own. Okay, so oh no, candy bowl, this is the bucket is carried by the players. When blah 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 created when a player claims a property, they can place it near their door or hide it for a challenge. This is where other players can collect candy. Alright, so we've got the trophy giver. This is the trophy that appears in the crypt area to immortalize costumes and capture them as a Halloween statue. Okay, the statues that appear in the trophy crypt. Trophy crypt. And finally, last but not least, the admin wand to manage it all. Okay. So here we're importing the blocks, block objects for some of the objects. We have some functions, returns true, returns true, the specified account is an admin, or we are in single player mode. Returns true. Some of these are kind of obvious. Returns true if a property, if a Halloween plot in the Halloween town has already been claimed. It's kind of a weird bean claim. And then, yeah, so this again, this would have been, if I had split these up, this would have been with the statue-related things. Searches for an available statue. I'll talk about how it does it in a second. Search for an available statue, returns null if there are no more. There are none available. Okay, so this, so every one of the Halloween statues, how it works is actually that when there are statues, so I place some statues where I want them, and then I use the wand to turn them into Halloween statues, and then they become invisible, but they're still placed there. And so then what happens is the this find empty statue placement will search for all those Halloween statues, and any of them that doesn't have a shape already, means not actually physically in the world yet, means that it's available for another player to claim it. So it's just kind of a random order that we search them, and so later on that's a thing. And this is just for live reloading, make sure the client can find the action strings. So any new actions we create that aren't one of the standard ones, like take some candy, look as a standard one already. Claim, probably want to add claim. I don't know if claim is or not, but just be safe, because we were having this problem before when I would add a new action to one of these and it would crash the client when it reloaded, when I went to go try to run it. Visit is another one. There's an optimization in the action protocol. So when you click on objects and run their actions, right, it has to send the action that it's running on that object from the client to the server. And so rather than sending all these strings, which are many bytes, it will just send one integer that's been resolved. And so anyway, there's a string ID system for sending repetitive strings, and the client will ask the server for ones it doesn't know about. But if the server hasn't added it to its strings thing yet, the client tries to create it and can't. So anyway, I think reset name's already one. So I'm just going through the take snapshot. Yeah, so I think take snapshot might have already been up here. Nope, take some candy, so we'll add take snapshot to this. So we'll find out really quickly if I've screwed something up. But so I just wanted to get the objects set up first, and then I can lay out the town plots. Place near front. Player can place near front door, or wherever on their property to allow other players to collect candy. So if I was writing this ahead of time, I might add my actions. So need to be able to take some candy, look, Yeah, so yeah, so those are kind of things you need: a special look, a custom, and custom look. Okay, and that's what it has. So we set the standard stuff up. This is the shape we imported. This candy blocks was the shape we imported up here, which is the candy bowl blocks. When it's placed, we basically offset it a little bit. Shape base center. We don't use. Yeah, that's right. So the location. Yeah. So we subtract the center. So that whenever we're placing it, we're placing the center. If it moved, only the owner can drag it. So we've overridden the standard move. Yeah. So override. Override place to center the object over the location. Override move to prevent dragging by other players. Override place at cell to center the object in the cell. Delegates to place for actual placement. One or both of these is part of the standard base item, and we're overriding its behavior. I don't remember which one. Player clickable action to take some candy. Only available if they haven't already taken some candy. Alright, and look, custom look that will show how much candy has been taken. Also, this ensures putting it here ensures that it will appear after take some candy in the list, meaning should be the first item in the context action list when enabled, which means it is also the clickable action. So whenever there's a context, so like let me place a thing real quick. So let me use the test wand to place a campfire. So if I place a campfire right here, like the fact that I have douse as when I hover over it and I could click and I can douse the fire with just a regular left click, and I can light it with just a regular left click. That's because if we right click on it, that's the first thing that comes up in the menu. And whatever's the first in these context menus is what is the default action for when you click on stuff. So that's why that's like that. And so we wanted take some candy to be first, but we still want to look to, so we want to make sure look is after. So we placed it here. And so then look is so this when we added the action, this is the actual action here, and then we've got this only if condition, which basically says, if the player already has candy from this particular, so if we've already linked this player to this bowl, then he can't get it again, so that's not available. So we only show this action if there are no candy links, not candy links. Okay. On remove, overridden to prevent anyone but an admin from removing the bowl, even through test wands, object wands, etc. Otherwise, there could be situations where a player can accidentally remove their own bowl and there's no way to get it back again. So I've been adding these on remove. On remove is another standard thing, so probably I need to document these things. action for admins to manually remove candy bowls. Probably we don't need this. I'm going to take it off because the object wand already has the ability to do this. Alright, so then the Halloween sign allows the player to claim an unclaimed house and also stands as the marker of their claim. Needs to be linked to a property claim. Needs actions for claiming and visiting. Needs a custom look for showing the status and how many people have visited. Needs a custom look for showing the claim status. Yeah, okay. Okay, so look overridden to format a custom look to show how to claim if unclaimed, how many visits, etc. So we also put look here, so it's the first in the list. Allows a property to be claimed. Only enabled if the player does not already have a claim. 2025 Halloween claim, and if the property is not already claimed. So this, we can take out the debug things. So we create the link between this player, this player, and this object, and we call that the Halloween 25 plots. We create a new entity that links these two together. We set the name of this entity to activator name Halloween house, so whatever the player is, and then we set up a bunch of other stuff. Who owns it? We create the Halloween candy bowl, and we link that to this. And we place it near the sign, and then so now we make sure to connect it to the plot. So we figure out what plot we're inside of, and we connect it up and give that plot to the player. There should already been a plot. Yeah, so the parent is the plot. Yeah. So when we lay out the town, we create all the plots, and then in the plots we put one of these signs, and we make the parent the actual property zone on the world so that it can easily find it. And so then we set ownership. So hopefully this is relatively straightforward. And so here's the only if. So this is only available if it hasn't already been claimed, right? So if it's been claimed by someone, then return false. It's not. You can't claim it. If you have already claimed something, right? So is this already claimed by someone else? Is the player already, or has the player already claimed another? Has already claimed another Halloween plot. So anyway, and this is kind of like when actual town management is enabled, these are similar to the scripts that the NPCs will run to allow you to claim a plot in a existing town. Right now we have the ability to just go and blow away things in towns. There's no ownership yet. But eventually, when the towns are created, the plots in the town will all be kind of these subplots like this, and there will be, a magistrate or someone you would have to talk to and potentially do quests for and things in order to get a plot in that town. Whether there's a building in it or not, you might, already have a building you can tear down. And anyway, so clear claim is, this is so an admin function to clear a claim. If when I was testing things, it was nice to be able to clear their claims, and set it back to unclaimed Halloween house. It just, or if a player decides they don't want to have their available for admin debugging while live editing does nothing. So like if somebody accidentally claims a property and they don't want that one, as an admin I can clear that claim, and that leaves them available to claim a different one, kind of thing. Override set name to make sure to also set the name of the parent property. So like there's the zone in the world, it has a name. There's the sign, it has a name. So when you change the name of the sign, it'll change the name of that property, and that property will also change the name on the map, that kind of thing. Reset name. Yeah, so admin function to reset the name if it was bugged out for some reason, used during mod development to fix existing properties when I messed them up. So it's good to have these little debug functions against admin only. So visit, players can click to visit the plot once. Keeps track of the count for the look view. Alright, so if you've never done it before, just that's fine. Oh, and side effect, if the player doesn't have a Halloween basket yet, let's get in their inventory. This will create one for them. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Create the Halloween bucket if they don't already have one. So it puts it on the player, and then create the visit link. And this is only available if the if it's not claimed. If it's claimed, right? If it's not claimed, then you can't visit it. And if you've already visited it, you can't visit it. Clear the visits. I don't think this is used. Clear claim, clear visits. Okay, so used by the clear claims admin function to also clear visits. I don't think we need this either. We probably, admin function to clear visits if there was a mistake made during development. So there's all these development only functions that I also could have put behind an is admin is developer. In fact, that's not a bad idea. We can put not only is admin, but returns true for dev mode to allow easy turning off of dev mode once the final scripts are ready for live use. And so we can have this is dev mode, and we could just always return true for now, right? But then any of these admin only functions that are just for development, like claims, go clear claim. Clear claim is the actual admin function. Reset name, only if and is dev mode, right? So that's just a way we can say you have to be an admin and we have to be in dev mode for that to exist. Same here. Once you're live, you probably don't want to accidentally click the clear visits, right? Overridden to make sure only an admin can remove, and to clean up related objects. So onRemove is called, when you remove an entity through the normal API, onRemove is called for your object to allow you to do some additional cleanup. So additional objects, which is the visit links, plot links, and any children. So if you remove it, it'll remove all the children, that kind of thing. Overridden to center object over location, and move. Overridden so that only admins can move, can drag, and overridden to center the object in the cell. So like normally the locations on integer boundaries are the corner of a cell. When we have these things right here, there's a block here, and 0, 0 is one of the corners of here, and so you'd have to add 0.5 if you wanted in the center of the cell. This is a cool coastline, by the way. We should go explore this coastline if we get a chance. So that's that object done. Provides a place for the player to see how much candy they have collected. Custom look function is really all it has. Okay. Action. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, so this is similar thing. Because it's something we can hold in our hand, we have to say what kind of manipulator is. Just a hand. It doesn't do any special functions in the world, which basically tells the client, tell the client no special indicators. This is a regular held object with no specific function. Like if you had like a build wand, it would highlight the blocks and that kind of thing, different things. So where the handle is, the shape, overridden to show candy count information. So yeah, basically, yeah, it's a simple object. Can be clicked by players to capture their current costume and place it on a statue. Custom actions are take snapshot and look so that we can provide instructions. I believe I gave it a custom look, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Overridden so that only the admin can drag it. First action allows the player to optionally capture their costume or replace an existing costume on a statue. So, yep. So here we're setting up the yes/no dialogue. Or yes cancel dialogue. So add the yes option. Customize the prompt based on whether they have already captured a costume or not. And then show the prompt. Let the player pick it. Call back. Take snapshot if they pick yes. Alright, so that's what we set up here. We've added an option that says yes, that looks like yes, but calls this action take snapshot, and so that'll call an action down here if they select it. So that'll call that action on ourselves. You could also call actions on other things, and that's kind of how warp works and other different things. Anyway, so look, overridden to show custom instructions. Finds a costume, finds a statue and applies the current costume. So copying the costume, do we already have an entity, a statue entity assigned to this player? Right, oh, cause so, yeah, so we said when we call snapshot, the argument we're going to pass is the person activating it. So this is the player. This target is the player. And so we say basically, do we already have a statue associated with them? If not, we have to find a good statue. If we don't, we have to give them an error message that says, hey, there are no more. Talk to your admin because he needs to add more statue placements. Otherwise, we create the link, we say create a new statue, or we update the existing statue, and I can get rid of some of these things. Yeah, so I had some messing around here. You can't set the stone body effect directly because it will try to recalculate the clothing, and this statue doesn't actually have any clothing. It's just copying the visual aspect of the clothing, the pre-drawn, stacked clothing, so to speak. And so there's a little bit of a odd thing here where we kind of like add the add-on directly instead of letting it use the normal entity component system. List the statues, admin command to help your sanity if you forget how many statues you've created or just need to debug something. So I'll just list all the statues. On remove, I would say if it's not an admin, if not admin and not dev mode. So overridden to only allow removal if we are admin and we are in dev mode. Right, that's the logic, right? If we're not an admin or we're not in dev mode or we're not in dev mode, then only admins can be, yeah. Actually, we can make this separate check because then the error message will be better. So, if not an admin, then that. If not is dev mode, can only remove the trophy giver in dev mode. Just to make sure that an overzealous click doesn't remove it and then bust all of the links and stuff, right? We we got only the 2 more things left. This one's a quick one. Place statue for receiving. Oops, status for receiving a particular player's costume capture. Mostly overrides look for a custom description and move and on remove to prevent accidents. I actually think that you can't drag these anyway, but so that only an admin can drag, though at the moment statues are not draggable. You can't drag rigs right now, so it doesn't really matter. And similar here, I'm going to do a thing, so can only remove statues in dev mode. Just because if you've set them up and a player has already grabbed one, you don't want to accidentally remove one because you were clicking the wrong thing on a admin wand, right? Overridden to void accidents only allows admin and in dev mode to remove objects. Yeah, so normally you'd use on remove to clean things up, but in here we're using it to prevent the removal, because on remove is called before we remove the thing. So this is the admin wand. Admin wand provides functions to the admin for setting the Halloween town stuff up. Custom actions, I'm picking the statues. And what else? There's, oh, picking the trophy giver. So you can use whatever object you want. I created an in-game assembly and then assigned that to things. So, so default block option, yeah. So, let's see. So it, yeah, because we're not doing the manual placement anymore. So I can get rid of these. I'm leaving in examples for custom placement of objects, even though this mod does not use those anymore. Example of showing a custom fly, what do they call them? Tooltip text over a block selection. So when you hover over a block, it will show place Halloween property. Example of a block click handler that would place an object. But don't actually use these because they don't. But it doesn't really work. Doesn't really connect up the property correctly. This was an early prototype action. Overridden to provide custom context actions for setting up the trophy giver and statues. So whenever an object is right-clicked on with this wand enabled, this action list will pop up. This is used. The town. Statues and trophy giver. I cannot type. There we go. Okay, so we did this thing. Yep, so that's, set up the options. Options to present. And each one with its own callback. Yeah, the game is smart enough. If you do like this make trophy giver, it will like detect the camel case and like game client automatically splits camel case actions. So make trophy giver will appear as make trophy giver. They can also be manually defined as in earlier cases. For example, new option self make trophy giver make trophy giver quit. Present the options to the player. Alright. Then we're cruising right along. Okay, so turns an object into a trophy giver. If it is not already some custom type. So we don't want to like accidentally turn a door or something into a, or actually a door would get turned into, but like any custom objects the player has created or whatever, we don't want to just turn random things into, or campfire. We don't want to turn a campfire into a trophy giver, that kind of thing, into a statue. And invisible statue location for claiming by a player with the trophy giver. I'm going to read the chat in a second. Trophy giver. Okay. I have to go. I have a production. Oh, thanks, Matt. I hope you had fun. Thanks for joining. Okay, so this is it for the objects. See if there's anything to comment here. Sanity check, yeah, just to make sure I'm not accidentally turning NPCs. Make sure not accidentally turning a real NPC into a statue placement. Oh no, sanity check, only the NPC objects placed with the test wand, NPC statue placed with the test wand can be turned into statue placements. These look like an NPC object type, but will have the stone body effect and no AI associated with them. Okay, so that's all of the object stuff, which means we can do real things now. Alright, so the next thing would be to give us our admin wand. So let's go to the hooks. Here we're going to set this up so that on joining, we look for the backpack. We see if they've already got the item in their backpack. Just in case we remove it, in case we've changed things since last time, remove and recreate in case things have changed. This has the positive side effect of unequipping. And the reason you want to do that so that the player doesn't accidentally click add many things because they forgot. Holding. Hodling holding. Okay, so and so then we check their permissions, and if they're an admin or a single player, this we could have used the isAdmin function, but we don't actually have that over here, and it's a different check because we've already got the perms. So then that's all good, and so now if I exit back out, so if I exit the game and come back in, it should add the wand to me. And we knew, because I checked before in the inventory, we didn't have the wand before. To continue last world. Alright. So we were Rastina. I think it's Trina and Rastina. This is kind of funny. Hey Ron. Just got in after watching Frank. Oh, how is Frankenstein? Guillermo del Toro, right? He makes some funky stuff. I figured his take on Frankenstein would be pretty good. Alright, so we've got, so let's, check our inventory. Should we have the, yep, okay, we have the, Halloween plot tool, which means if I wanted to, I could try to turn this, fire into a trophy giver or a statue placement, which it wouldn't let me do either. Actually, shouldn't let me do either, right? Make statue placement. It says not a placed statue. We can't. Make trophy giver, not a raw assembly object. So we can't. So we have to make an assembly if we want to have. Just like the book. Well, close enough. Well, interesting. Okay. So we've got the basics there. Let me go ahead and port the stuff to make the town. So that would be all of this stuff. I would have liked to have broken this up a little further, but man, we'll I actually think this is the only place we would have admin commands too. Uh-oh. YouTube is not receiving enough information. Alright, so let's cut and paste this into the town plot script, and we'll talk about what these do. Find the property claim that contains the specified location or return null. So this is when I'm standing somewhere and I say, make this a town, and it has to figure out where. Gets the elevation at a particular XY coordinate, XZ coordinate. Okay, so grab some types. We will need block types. Okay. So So for now, that's, yeah, some random things. Clear cell, draw. So yeah, I'm not going to document this too much. But why are these always true now? Oh, because it does the fence all the way around now. That's right. So I'm going to leave it. But originally, I had the fence only draw along some borders. But then there was the problem of who owned the fence. Now all properties get fences all the way around. Sub-properties. You doing towns in a way where NPCs use lots in the world, Jin, or is this for players only? This part is for players only, but eventually, yeah, the towns will be organized into these subplots too, and so you could talk to the magistrate and get your own plot in a town, that sort of thing. That'll be a mechanic. NPCs will own their little spot of the town, and potentially, like, if you maybe they sell it to you, or maybe there'll be quests and things where an NPC will gift you or give you, or they die and they will it to you or something like that. So that kind of thing. Take stuff out for the gates. Okay. We don't do anything with this down here, so I could just remove it. And yep, so some of these are pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, this was specifically for the town, but like it's very similar to the things that would be for that. This was very specifically for the Halloween town, but there were some things that okay, so just get rid of some of this extra stuff. But yeah, it's closely aligned with some similar systems that will be in the real stuff. So okay, so we got this. Okay, so this is all set up, but I think we want to make this an actual... If you have def, it's local to this Groovy file, but if you remove the def, it kind of exports it so that other things can call it. And so then we can have our admin command let us draw a city. And so then let's port the chop command. Okay, so yes, this is the sort of the meat and potatoes of the chopping. So I'm just going to call def help up here so that I don't have to have one command that's the head. So chop a city inside the current plot property claim. I think I want to automatically mark a revs. I'll show you, because I was marking it, but I forgot to do it on one of my worlds, and I kind of regretted it. So there's the revision system, and so revs. Mark current revision is what I want to do. Yeah, okay. And so when you first call chop, it will force a new world revision, so that if you want to undo your town chopping, all you have to do is reset the revisions of certain areas. And so that sort of just makes sure that you can go back to what you were doing before. Okay, so we don't really want all this stuff. So this is drawing the town. If anybody plays with this and wants me to describe further, but just suffice to say that this is chopping up a town. Let's go ahead and make our town now. Okay, so what I want to do is, let's see, who am I? I am entity thing. So so grant property is something that's not part of the normal stuff. It's part of my custom server mod. But I should make it a standard thing. But anyway, if anybody sets up their server and they want to support granting property to other players and stuff like that, all they have to do is ask me and I can give them the script. So we want to grant property city, granting property to character Rostina. So I've got a city now, and I am going to place that city. Oops, place the property. I'm going to place it right here. Boink. Okay, so now it's on the map. If we look, yeah, but it's still small, so it's not showing up yet. It's teeny tiny because we're just a little square on the map. And so then I should be able to hear. There's another custom to my server script called maximize property, so that I don't have to drag these all out. That will just, whoops. Oh, do I have to say which property? Yeah, I don't think it picks whatever I'm in. Yeah. So then, so I think, so find by name is a new command in the current thing. So I think if I find by name Rostina's property, or Rostina's city. Yep. So then I can say maximize property. So these are not specific to this mod, but 70439. Boink. There we go. Alright, so let's see what that looks like actually in the world. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, and so now I'm going to run time forward a little bit because this is kind of annoying. So, because, I mean, I think it's cool looking, but you guys can't see very well on YouTube. So let's say time, what's the time in game? I can't see right now because it's covered up. Let's do 5 hours. Boink. Yeah, so it'll be 7 o'clock, so it'll be after sunup. Okay, cool. Alright, so now I should be able to run the chop command. Let me go ahead and turn off the property borders. Alright, so I'm inside the property. And so then it will pick whatever property I'm inside of and chop it up. Error, no signature method. Get containing claim. Oh, okay. So I put this in the wrong. Get containing claim. Oh. Okay, no. I need to, that was put in the town plot, and I need to expose it so that, yeah, so it's available. And probably get elevation too. Yeah. Okay, so actually what I'll do instead is I think neither of these things are used here. Let's see though. Oh no, get elevations used all over the place here. So we'll leave this one here. Yeah, we'll just do this. We'll export both of them. And we shall try again. Chop. Boink. Chopping. Bluck. Error. No signature method. Draw intersection. Oh, okay. So the admin command itself is doing way too much work. So draw intersection, draw horizontal road. What does draw city even do then? Draw city, does the final thing. So smooth, and all of these need to be exported also. So, yeah, so draw horizontal road, draw vert road, draw intersection, draw plot probably, smooth. Draw city. I think those are all we need. But let's see. Did it already... Okay, it didn't do anything yet. Okay, we're good. Chop. Boink. Error. No signature of method change size. It's Apo for armaments. No. That's not right. At what point did it screw up, though? This... But marker does have a change size. Why does it say... Okay, where's the dark thing I can put as a background? Argument types null, values null. Property marker size. Oh, is this another thing? Yeah, so I had created a, I forgot about this. So I created like a settings object at the top. Defines size of the property, the town map, city map marker for the Halloween town. Or the plot, subplot, subplot map markers for the Halloween. Yeah, okay. So let's see if we've really screwed up the world or not. Let me go ahead and add an unchop just in case. So the other, I had an unchop so that I could revert whatever I had chopped, and unchop clears the container by reversing the chop command, but it did it just by finding all the things. Let me copy it and we'll clean it up and document it. So clears the containing property reversing the chop command. Reverts all of the columns for these revisions. This is why we marked revision in chop. So first we do find the claim. Find the claim. If it's a subclaim, we go to the parent claim. Okay, so then collect all of the columns to recover. Okay, revert all those, and clean up plots, the subplot property claims. Alright, if subplots, we have them, get rid of the children as well. Alright, so this is just a undo what you did kind of thing, and so we'll make sure that we unchop just in case we had accidentally created some stuff. Why though? Current error retrieving versions for column ID, tile ID. Maybe there are no revisions and that's why. Alright, so let's I think I fixed chop, so let's try chop again. The property cannot be placed here, it intersects with another property. Yeah, so we've got a problem here. This is the thing about developing. Okay, so yeah, so we had started to place it, and then we had a problem. And I don't think this cleans up itself correctly, but let me see if I can retrieve it. Move it down to the ground at least so that I can see what I'm doing. Will it let me retrieve this? Nope. So let's make unchopped work. Okay, it removed it. Cool. Okay, so that's good. Let's go back to the center of our little town here. Okay. So let me make sure that chop will work this time. It couldn't find... Property marker size should definitely be set. Was that the only change size? Yep. But we didn't find a marker, basically. Unclaimed house. Yeah, where would it have gotten its marker? Something creates the marker. Claim area. Create object type claim. I think this is part of Mythruna itself. The property, base property. Property objects. Yeah. Yeah, so when a property object is created and placed, place claim, okay, when it updates the area, or when the claim is placed, it will create the map marker. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to our admin commands here. And so we created it, we placed it, it should have a marker. Oh, the placement failed before because something was already there. I wonder if there's a bug in place claim. Just in case. Now, let's try chopping again and see if we get an error. Nope, it's working now. Yay! So yeah, we just not had to clean something cleaned up before. Uh-oh. Something was unhappy. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, so there's actually a bug in the game right now that we've just now discovered that I'm going to put in the bug tracker. Generate a report, why not? It's a long report. Okay, so we'll put this in the bug tracker. While that log goes and finishes dumping itself. Stack Overflow error null in worker pool. So I found a crash in the, I think it's a simple fix. I'm going to call it a 1 for now. And this should only have been a client problem, but we'll see whether the server got fully updated. But in here, in the worker pool, I found a case where we tried to execute a new job so quickly that we still found it in the old queued jobs, but we didn't find it in the runner index. And so how does that happen? We put if absent. Oh. Because we put it in, we have to remove it again. Yeah, so if the runner is null, reset the queued jobs, since we just added one. So there's all kinds of race conditions here that I need to come back and deal with, and that's kind of what the problem is. And just execute it again. So this is, yeah, I basically discovered a state thing, and I'm just kind of plastering over it. And which one? Great, this one. So just so I doesn't have happen again. And then real quickly, that'll install, and then we'll run again. I should already have our city generated. I hope it finished before it crashed. Because the crash was actually in the client code. Alright, come on. Why you go so slow? Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if we've still got... The whole system is unhappy. Am I about to crash? Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay. Is the stream still going? It seems to be. Yeah, so my whole machine locked up for a second. I thought I was going to lose it. That was fun. You guys still here? You guys. Something was unhappy. Just making sure I've got no weird things taking up lots of RAM. Oh, Firefox. Firefox needs to be killed and restarted. Anyway, hope you guys are still here. Anyway, we'll continue documenting our process as we go. We're just about done with porting everything. I think there's just... Yeah, we did the hooks. We're getting close to being able to publish. So I'll make... I don't know what I'll do. I'm going to be working on the new website this weekend. Like I said, new website's the priority. Because I'm tired of every time I cut a release having to create, a bunch of different WordPress pages. It's so painful. When I could make that an automatic part of my build. So, okay. Well, I hope you guys are still around. Yeah, by the way, the best place to report bugs is definitely to the Discord, because you get immediate feedback. There's a... in fact, I'm going to... Yeah, most of the time. I'm going to give a shout out to one particular user. I can't remember their exact name. Starts with a G. Let me get to the point where I can pause here. Okay, so in the Discord, there has been, in the bugs list, there's been one Godon, Godon. Been super helpful, giving me logs and stuff for the crashes he's seeing. He's running on older hardware, and so it was like a good opportunity for me to fix a bunch of shader bugs that happen on older hardware. And so Max, you know, he's just posted something here as well, and this is a good place to drop the error zips. In fact, I'm going to go and download this right now, because apparently Discord expires these pretty quickly. Let me real quickly put this in my bug reports. We're going to make a new one for Max. New section for Max. Max Isrin. Come on, I want to make a new folder. There we go. Max Isrin. Okay. Come on. Every now and then my monitor goes black, goes to power save for no good reason. Okay. So I got that saved, no worries. Okay, so it should have created all of our plots and roads and things. Let's go check it out. Yeah, so we've got plots, little plot markers. So you should be able to look at it. Look, this is an unclaimed Halloween prop. Right click to claim to own it. Okay, so then I could right click if I want to and claim this particular one. So let's just do that. Oops. Right click, claim. Okay, so here's the thing. We had some of these set up as admin tools. So let's just really quickly test that functionality. Our dev mode tools. All right, so if we go into, we're in the wrong file. Okay. So let's just check that functionality real quick, so we can see closer to what it would really look like. Objects.groovy. So is dev mode will return false. It'll get the instant update. And so now when we right click on this, okay, well now we can't see. Anyway, so now when we right click on it, yeah, so you see we get much fewer things. Clear claim is still one that is an admin tool, so we'll claim this one, and now it should say that it's my property. Yep, Racina's Halloween house visited 0 times. Let me go ahead and run time forward again. Time, let's do 8 hours. Yeah, so we'll probably want another hour, in fact, but that's okay. It's only a minute. So, anyway, yeah, nice moon up there. Let's run it forward another hour. There we go. Now, sun's coming up. All right, so we've got the town placed around. If we go into the property tool, we should see that we've got properties. Yeah, I've got my Halloween house. We can show the properties. So yeah, mine shows up as blue. I'm the owner of the town, so all the other ones show up as green. So it placed the whole town around. So let's test the rest of our admin tools. Like say we had built a crypt and things over here. I'm going to go ahead and kill this. So, I'm going to pull up my object wand and place a chest, I think is, does that open and close? Yeah, so this is an assembly. So then we can load the admin wand. You know, I created obviously a more detailed one here, but from here we can right click and we say make this the trophy giver, right? Existing type, yep. So now it's the trophy giver. So if I did this, it would try to take a snapshot, but if I did, do you want to immortalize your costume now? Create no. Yes, sure, but nope, there are no more statues. So we got to place some statues around. Right now, the way this is set up is I do this through the test wand. Since I'm an admin, one of the things I can place is random humanoid statue. So if I place a statue here, right, I got that statue, and I could run around and place statues around, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so that one put it on top of there. But again, I can't drag. You can't drag statues, but so anyway, you could do like I did and place a bunch of statues around where you wanted the placements. Then with your Halloween plot tool, you can come over here and you can say, well, make this a statue placement. Right. It disappears. Make this a statue placement. Disappears. Make this a statue placement. And make this a statue placement. Right, so now we've got all those. Now if I came over here and said, hey, yes, claim my... I want you to take a snapshot. Click yes. Creating apps. Right, and it should have picked one of those, yep, and made it my costume, which is just, right now I'm just wearing basic clothing, so it's kind of boring, but that's me in statue form, and then it'll say, yep, statue more. So we can get rid of this debug now while we're here too. So see, that's the statue, so this look, yeah, so I can just basically get rid of this. Okay, so now when I look, it won't have that garbage. This, yep, costumers, you know. So I could use that to like describe the costume potentially, but yeah. So now if another player came along and they did it, they'd get another statue picked, and to capture their look and so on. So that's the basic functionality of the town Halloween tool stuff. And actually, this town looks pretty cool. So it's got like a lot of elevation changes, which are kind of neat. So yeah, the smoothing, there's like the smooth function, and that's what's doing this half block stuff to make the roads a little smoother as they come up and stuff. So that was kind of a fun little algorithm to write. And real towns will use something like that when they place their roads. So this is very similar to the way real town roads will be placed, although when towns are really placed, they'll do a little bit of terraforming to flatten the ground a little more too, so that it won't necessarily be as dramatic all the time. But I kind of like it, actually. I'm a big fan of having the towns and cities and stuff conform to the terrain. So you'll see a lot of that. Yeah, so we've got yeah, that's all good. Look at that. So it's working out pretty good. Okay, so for the last little bit of the live stream, I've got this ready. I'm pretty much ready to zip it up and post it to the internet somewhere. But I wanted to check out this coastline. Like this coastline looks pretty crazy. So if there are any questions, go ahead and ask questions. Otherwise, I'm gonna go fly over. Oh wait, you know what I want to do? I want to mark my location. So here's how. Okay, so here's how you would mark the location of your town, right? You find some place where you want to be the teleportation spot for your town, and so then you go mark, and you call it town, you know, my Halloween town or whatever, right? And then you know, me just by myself, if I was to do a warp, you know, it shows up in here and I could click it and I go right up to the Halloween town, and I'm already here, so it should clear really quickly. But if you want to, as a admin, you can promote that to be a public mark by calling remark, what did I call it? My Halloween town, right? And so that upgrades, it says upgrading my Halloween town to a world marker. And so now, you know, if a player types warp, they'll see this in their list of like global targets. And so that would allow us to come back here. And that's how I did my Halloween town in the haunted house and so on and so forth. This is a town over here. What was this town called? Duddington. Nice. And we've got Town Creek, or what is that? Blunsdown Creek. Oh, so we're kind of in like a British UK Port Pryor. Yeah, so we're in kind of a British UK section of the world where it's using that language model to train itself, to train the names. So let's check out this town real quick. So yeah, I'm just gonna like basically run the clock out here a little bit. Yeah, I'm going super fast, that's why. Let's not fly so fast maybe. But I wanted to give everyone an opportunity to ask questions or whatever. If you're working on things at home that are creative, I hope you have a productive week as well. But yeah, as I was saying, so the next priority is website. so that I can cut releases faster without having. So that's the stress for me is every time I cut a release, I'm like, oh god, I gotta go into WordPress again and create all these pages. And while I've got it pretty much down to a science now, it's a barrier to entry. It's going to take me at least an hour to cut a release just because of that. And it would be nicer. I could cut releases more often if it was like a one-click button kind of thing. So I want to concentrate on getting the website replaced with the new, more, better stuff. And then my focus is going to be on getting this inventory to be speedy. So start the inventory refactoring, because while I want to get mobs and NPCs working, if I get them working, the next thing you guys are going to want are monsters, because that's the logical conclusion, and then I would need loot. And then if you got loot, you need to be able to manage your stuff, and this is not manageable. Like, you can't actually take things out of your inventory. You can't put them into chests. You can't do any of that. So the system rapidly falls over on itself. Plus, this is a performance problem for anyone connecting to the server. If you've opened your inventory, you know it takes like 30 seconds for it to load the first time. That's a experience problem. It's a bad experience. So I want to fix that first, which also opens me up for some crafting and things. So maybe by next week we'll be finishing that up. And then going into Thanksgiving, hopefully I can be back to playing with mobs and NPCs, and because I have the week of Thanksgiving off. So yeah, let's go check out this coastline real quick. We've got some kind of, we've got a farm up here. It's like YouTube says there's still 2 of you on. So we'll just hang out until we get to this cool looking Cliffs of Dover style coastline. Thanks. Yeah, it looked pretty. I thought it was kind of a cool looking town. And it's got like a nice scenery too. But these like Cliffs of Dover style plateaus are kind of cool looking. I'm gonna go check them out. They're right on the coastline too, so I hope at some point the game is smart enough to place, like, you know, if there's going to be like pirate cities and pirate towns, that it's smart enough to place them in these kind of coastal nooks and crannies. Let's go ahead and warp closer, because I think it's going to take me a while to walk there. So we just left Duddington, and let's see if I want to hop over 1, 2 this way and 1, 2 this way. So this is, let me write it down because it's going to cover up as soon as I open up the command thing. So we want to do probably 25,000 by 21,000 to go to that town up there. I wanted to check out Blundown Creek. Okay, so let's do warp 25,200 and then 21,000. Oh, I can't. It's not gonna like those commas. 21,000. See what it does. Yep. Okay, we're right at this town. Cool. We're falling out of the portal. Okay, where are we? We're real close to this town. Should be able to see it. Of course, we're loading in the world, which is probably killing the stream. Yeah, I'm like messing with the portal blindness. It's never going to get a chance to clear if I keep moving. Okay, the town should be right over this rise. I'm trying to like move slow. That's why I'm not flying super fast, because I know that this is already struggling. Just got to regenerate all this area. There we go. Okay, so now I can fly a little faster. Yeah, we got a town nice just over the ridge. I love coming over ridges and seeing towns. So let's get that effect, right? Especially when it's starting to get nighttime, and I feel like if I was a real player with like actual mobs and stuff in the world, I'd be getting a little stressed out as the sun goes down. Like, am I going to make it to the town on time? And so, like, when you come over and you can kind of see the lights in the distance, let's see if I can get up high enough to see them. But these views, man. So I need to think of the algorithm of how to, yeah, so you can see the town nestled into the trees there. But yeah, especially coming up through the woods at night, and you can see the lights through the trees in the distance. It's already kind of a neat feeling. Yeah, we look glimpses of buildings between the trees. Here we go. Yeah, so we're at the town. Okay. It's a pretty cool town. Blunsdown Creek. I don't know if there are any creeks nearby, but sometimes towns are named ironically anyway. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and one of my tricks is I go to whenever there's an airport. That's what this is, by the way. This is a small airport for like airships to dock. I come here and I mark the town name, Blunsdown Creek, so I can get back here whenever I want to. And let's see if we can see which direction is the coastline. So that's over here. Yeah, we're not too far from the coast, but we're not too close either. Let's go over here. There's the coastline coming up. Yeah, can you imagine like flying around in an airship at night and being able to like see the stuff? And there's the plateaus over there. So what I want to do is get over here to the shore and look at those plateaus from the shoreline. And then maybe we can warp over there. Got a cool little yeah, so you'll find in the version that was uploaded the other night that this or even last week, right, the local terrain always loads really fast now. It's very rare that you can run up and see on the raw terrain. Okay, so we're kind of dark. Let's go ahead and, oh, that's a pretty view. Those plateaus off in the distance, the moon. Okay, let's run the time forward. Time 5 hours. Oh yeah, see, there's definitely, oh no, 2056. Yeah, would be, right? Because it's got across the 24-hour boundary. Yeah, I just did math bad earlier. So let's do another 5 hours. Yep. Now it'll come back to sunrise. We can see the sunrise over here. Right over that plateau. That's kind of cool. Alright, so let's... what's my position? So let's warp to 26,000 and 19842. So let's go warp 26,000 300 19842. That should put us in these plateaus. Or did I calculate incorrectly? Yeah, it looks like I didn't jump far enough. But we're a little closer. Now we're in the water. Okay, so let's do this again, but this time warp to... Or did I go the wrong direction? I went the wrong direction, didn't I? Yes, let's do 25. Oh no, 27. No, I did go the right direction. 27,300 19842. Okay. Where did we go now? Yeah, so we're right on the edge of this weird coastline here. Yeah, cool looking. Okay, so let's come over here. But you see, even with all this going on, this loaded in right away, this local terrain. So you should always have blocks near where you are. And that cleared really quickly, in fact. Let's go climbing up the cliffs here. I wonder if we'll be able to see across the ocean, or if this is a really vast ocean. I think it is. coming up over the cliff. Alright. Okay, so let's run out. So we can see some land out there in the distance. I wonder if it's just islands or another coastline. We get the big cracks in the plateau here. There's another name for these. In South America they have them, and there's a name for them. It's featured in the movie Up. Because that's where he was going. Yeah, so like there's these deep chasms. But that's not what I was talking about in the movie Up. There's these high plateaus with like trees and stuff on top of them. Yeah, so you can kind of see an island out there. But yeah, that's it. Island and then just ocean for many, many kilometers. Okay, so let's head over to where we can see the rest of the coastline. Yeah. Oh, there's, yeah, neat. This reminds me of the coastline in the Goonies. We can One-Eyed Willie, look for One-Eyed Willie's treasure, line it up with the map. Alright, if you have not seen the Goonies, it's worth a watch. Older 80s movie. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to end it. We made the coastline, and that's a pretty cool looking coastline. Deep, deep water here. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. So potentially some cool stuff in that deep water someday. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to stop it. It's my dinner time, so thanks again for hanging out with the live stream. I need to come up with a place to post that mod. I think that maybe that I'll incorporate that into the new website to have a good place to do that kind of stuff. Anyway, as I said, if you're working on creative projects, I hope you have a productive week. Hopefully that I can get the... come on, let me switch the thing. Alright, so thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, hang out there. All this cool stuff going on the Discord always. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out.